Hi family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi, and here on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Today's video is sponsored by Taylor Brands, but more on that later. What we're going to talk about today is how the old me has passed away. Rest in peace. But I'm dancing on that girl's grave because I do not miss the old me at all. And I really want to talk to you guys about the perspective shifts that have brought me to this new place in my life. The event that really made me realize how much I've grown actually happened this weekend. Last week, I told you guys that I was going on a last-minute trip to Atlanta. And for the first time, I left my mom with my kids over the weekend. So she would usually only have them for one night, a couple hours, and she told me that she wanted to keep the kids and her health has been doing great lately. So I was like, you know what? Sure. If you don't know, my mom has MS and I actually was diagnosed with MS as well, but I have not had symptoms in 7 or 8 years. It's been a while. But yeah, actually, if I need to do a new video about my MS journey, let me know if you're interested in that. Because I would love to update you guys. But anyway, I left my children with my mom. I went to Atlanta, had a great Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, I found out that my mother had a flare-up. So we rushed back from Atlanta to Charlotte, or to where my mom lives, which is outside of Charlotte. And that's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive. And on my way home, that 5 hours, I was really able to see the growth that has occurred within me. I've had a really hard past with anxiety, and my anxiety used to be very, very physical. And what I mean by this is that my panic attacks would completely unground me. I would have brain fog, shaking, knots in my stomach, shortness of breath, like all of it, not being present in my physical reality at all. Anxiety used to completely steal me from my present experience. And on the way home, don't get me wrong, I was very upset. I felt guilty for leaving my kids with my mom because I felt like I knew better. I shouldn't have done it. And that's still something I'm working through. I also just felt very worried. I never wanted my son to see my mom sick because I saw my mom sick when I was younger and I know how that affected me. And I just cried because it's my world. My mom and my kids, that's my world. So a lot of emotions on that ride home. But after I got my kids and made sure my mom was okay and got back to my own home and sat on the couch, I realized how well I handled that 5 hours. The old me would have called my mother or called, side note, my mother-in-law actually was able to come to the house to help out. So my mom was not alone with the kids. We did have family there that could help. So it was not, the stakes were not that high. So yeah, that's important. So the old me would have called my mother-in-law or called my mom and been like, let's stay on FaceTime the whole 5 hours on my ride home because I could not handle this stress, you know? The old me would have cried the whole ride. The old me would have been shaking, probably would have thrown up. The old me could not have handled that level of stress. Last Sunday, where I actually was in a place of reality. And I know that reality is often so subjective, and I do understand that depending on one's mental place, reality can seem very elusive. I do understand that. But last Sunday, I was able to see what the situation was, understand that I need to get home, that that's a priority, and also know that nothing else was in my control. I cannot speed up how fast the car is going. I cannot fly there and get my kids more quickly. There's not really anything in my power to do. So during that drive with my husband, I listened to podcasts. And like I said, I cried a little bit. I discussed my feelings. I prayed. I grounded myself. And most importantly, I kept my nervous system in check. And I am just so proud of myself and how far I've come. It was a win. It's a win, and I'm taking the win. In that moment, I realized that I am a new version of myself, and I do not miss the old version. I do not plan on resurrecting her anytime soon. I love her for all that she has taught me and brought me through. I appreciate her. But when I say I dance on her grave, I'm saying I'm dancing out of joy. I am happy for both of us, and I'm happy for where we are now and all that's going to be possible for me because I have experienced this growth. In order for me to really understand and articulate my growth, I think that I have to present the idea that perspective shifts are the catalyst for growth. That is the idea that really helps me see my evolution when I understand the perspective shifts that I have experienced in my life. This past weekend, my friend wanted me to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it was as amazing as I have heard. A lot of you have commented and asked me whether I've watched it. I have finally seen it. It is so good. It is so good. I am going to talk a tiny bit about the movie, so if you don't want to hear anything at all about it, then this probably is not the best video for you. But there is a main character, and her name is Evelyn, and she's going through this journey learning how to better understand herself. The movie does not show this process in a concrete way. The process is shown in a very abstract way. But the main thing that I want to talk about is towards the end. It's an action movie, kind of. So many genres. But towards the end, Evelyn is in this humongous fight scene, and all of the people in the fight scene are people that she knows in her conscious reality. The way that I interpreted that scene was every person that she was fighting represented one of the thoughts that existed within her consciousness. So as she's fighting with these thoughts, she's learning, she places this googly eye between both of her eyes, which is symbolic for the third eye, and she learns that you cannot fight with anger. You cannot fight shadow with shadow. You can only fight shadow with light. So she learns that it's not about fighting these thoughts. Each enemy that comes representing a thought, she does not fight them with violence. She changes the perspective by implementing love into her interaction with that thought. And it's such a good movie. Seriously, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch. All this to say, my perspective, all of my thoughts used to be very grounded in insecurity. I was insecure about my appearance. I was insecure about my capabilities. I was insecure about my understanding of finances, and I was financially insecure as a reflection. I was insecure in almost every part of my life. When I was unconscious. I think that that's the best way to put it. The old me that I am mourning is the me that was completely unconscious and was reacting to my physical reality, based on how I learned to react to my physical reality, learned behaviors from observing my surroundings as I grew up. Our learned behaviors are not always the best behaviors for us. So as I become more conscious and learn to understand where my unconscious thoughts stem from, especially the ones that are grounded in my insecurities, I've been able to see each thought one by one and lean into those thoughts and shift them by seeing those thoughts from a place of love. I'm insecure about my appearance. Why? God made me this way, and everything that God makes is beautiful. I'm insecure about my capabilities. Why? I'm willing to learn. I'm a very smart person. Any progress that I make in any area of my life is perfect. I've learned to look at each of the thoughts that have weighed me down and implement love into those thoughts. And by doing this, I created a home within myself that is safe. Instead of looking outside for validation, I've learned to rely on myself and my internal world for validation, my connection with God. The thing is, God will always give you what you expect. You will always live the reality that you believe is possible for yourself. Not because that's what you deserve, But because that's what your consciousness or your unconscious mind, depending on where you are in your journey, that is what that part of your mind expects. So if you were to live in a reality that was more expanded than your understanding of who you are, your mind would be freaking out every single moment. You wouldn't understand how to navigate within the world that is more expanded than you actually are. So instead, we live realities that are a reflection of what we believe we deserve and what we believe that we can handle. And in order to expand that understanding of yourself, you have to look at those thoughts one by one. I really would like to discuss the importance of going within ourselves for validation versus going into the world, aka the matrix, for validation. But before we get into that, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Taylor Brands. Hey girl. Okay, you cute. I am the ghost of Christmas future. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me call my mom so she could watch my kids. Oh, no, hun, I just have a message from the future. So no time travel? Okay, what's the message? I'm here to tell you to sign up for Taylor Brands. I know that you've been thinking about it. Your yoga business is really promising. No website, no logo, you just feel like nothing sets you apart. I'm here to tell you that in a year from now, you will not regret it. I was thinking about it, but it just seems like such a bad time. The new year is a perfect time to refocus on your values and your goals as a brand. You can start to see yourself as a real business owner. I could be a real business owner? Yeah, girl, I'm from the future. Why would I lie? Okay, I'm in. Tell me more. Taylor Brands' website is a holiday miracle for any small business owner. They make it so easy for you to register for that LLC. Having an LLC is a way to build trust between you and your community. Creating your LLC early helps you organize your finances and clearly define your taxes. Your LLC can also protect you because it determines your brand's liability. Creating an LLC with Taylor Brands is fast and easy. Now that you've established your business and you're feeling super confident, you can use Taylor Brands too. Register your domain, trademark your business, create a logo, create a website, and create a digital business card. I just made an account. I'm so excited. Yay! Bye. Bye. The world that we're living in is not rooted in love. And sometimes that could be a really hard pill to swallow. The world has so many different definitions of success and of fulfillment. And in order to truly understand what success and fulfillment feels like to you, you have to define it for yourself. When we keep looking into the world and into the matrix, let me explain that as well. So how I define the matrix is this idea of the surface level of thinking that a lot of our society runs itself off of. The idea that money is success, the idea that love means you have a lot of friends and a big community and a lot of followers. Those surface level thoughts that seem to be everywhere and are portrayed as truth, even though it's not truthful. If we look to this world for fulfillment or for feelings of true love, we will constantly be on the hamster wheel because the love that the world / the matrix offers is circumstantial. You are only worthy of joy if. You are only worthy of love if. You are only worthy of peace and ease if you meet whatever criteria, whatever part of the world you're looking into says you must meet. So all this to say, when I learned to stop looking outside of myself to define what made me truly happy, I was able to grow and develop as a person. I've gotten like three videos without talking about social media, so I deserve a cookie, but here we go. So social media and our current reality has really allowed so many of us to fall into this false sense of security. So many of us are in this place of arrested development where our minds are trapped in this adolescent thinking because instead of fostering our own development by thinking about our own consciousness, we're constantly pushing energy out and observing what is around us. And even though this can allow us to better understand the world, which is necessary to survive as an adult, there's less understanding of ourselves as individuals. And when we do not take the time to understand ourselves as individuals, we cannot grow, we cannot develop, we cannot evolve. So when it comes to me and my own journey, I'm so grateful to know that I've put in the time and the work to emotionally detach from what the world feels about me and what the world feels about pretty much anything, because I'm more than aware that it is an illusion. There are huge events that happen every single day. And if I were to give all of my energy to each one of those events, my internal reality would not be dependent on me or my relationship with God. My internal reality would be dependent on the world. And that's no good. Every time I fall back into old thinking, and it does happen because that is life. The more you grow, the more you expand, the more your brain looks for programming that'll help it figure out what to do next. And because my old programming was rooted in insecurity, whenever I expand, thoughts of insecurity come up. And this isn't something that I resist anymore. I almost expect it, because lack of resistance allows me to see clearly and allows me to say, okay, I'm gonna feel this in this moment, but I'm not gonna stay here, right? So when I feel the urge to lean back into old thinking, I take that as an opportunity to lay flowers on the grave of my old self, to honor my old self, and to thank my old self for everything that it's done and all of the ways that it has tried to protect me and still tries to protect me. I don't have to be that person anymore, but I can be aware of the parts of my mind that still operate like that person. Like I said before, when I dance on the grave of my old self, I'm not dancing out of spite. I'm dancing for both of us, because I truly am grateful for that part of myself, and I'm grateful for all those experiences that have got me to where I am today. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much to Taylor Brands for sponsoring this video. Guys, make sure you check them out, especially if you are a small business owner. They are great and they really do support this channel. So please check them out. Use the link in the description box. Also, if you would like to know more about anything that I talked about today, just let me know down in the comments and I will expand on in the future. If you would like to be notified when I come out with a video in the future, click that notification bell and make sure that you subscribe. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you and this community. Thank you, patrons, for holding me down as always. We have a holiday party coming up. I cannot wait to do some slow flow yoga with you guys and some meditation and some intention setting. Go ahead and check out the community tab for that. And I'm wrapping it up. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.